Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Row 3 replay. Spawn on top right side as the orange allies, we have Cheshou. On the bottom right side as the red allies, we have OtherDawn. Spawn on the bottom left side as the cyan Soviets, we have A&F. And as the blue empire, we have Toni.Kroos. So we've got double allies versus Soviet and Empire. We got multiple dojo cores now advancing forward with ore refineries. We got a barracks here and a column by engineer pushes the way forward. Bear is now advancing forward. Boulder has been claimed. Oh, and it looks like Zele's locking down some of these defensive structures. That's usually a good spot to defend with. But against, oh, he's against the Empire, not Soviet as well, so he doesn't have to worry about Molotovs. Doggy's out at sea. Plus he does kill off a bear. So it looks like a dog-eat bear world. Over here, Doggy's now swimming up north. Got some conscripts in a patrol move. I don't know why, it looks like I don't know if these conscripts are some sort of patrol move. But either way, we got some of these Imperial Wars getting bitten by dogs. And it looks like this dog and bear will go down. Riptide's now advancing forward, getting some good damage onto the instant dojos. And do also have the burst drone flying down south. Up north, do we have a dog? And a javelin troop inside this garrison as well. We have a burst drone now flying about as well as the dog getting cleaned on up. Down here, we do have the dog advancing out to sea. A bit of a sea dog. And something been put out here. It could be another bullfrog. I don't know why. I think maybe a stingray. Peacekeepers are along the beach, enjoying the sun, and getting sand in their boots. I really hate sand. I know it's a Star Wars meme, but I genuinely hate sand. Everything they say about sand in Star Wars, it's not false. It is absolutely true. That's the reason why I hate going to beaches. It's just the damn sand. Mekatengu's right here. Over here, you got the Oracle starting to see a bit of fire. You got the Mekatengu will be killed off by the Riptide, and this Oracle is trying to back off onto land. A couple Apollos flying about. Trying to score some kills. Riptide is engaging a Tesla coil trying to be put out now. Prospector being seen a bit of fire there and does avoid the bottom run there. Very nice. Pursuing the Vindicator, maybe it'll score a kill. It does score a kill there. Construction yard being deployed on out over here. And Tesla coil does get completed. It does get the kill before going down itself. That was cutting it really close. It was mutual destruction. Prospector being pursued by the Mekatengu. Good harassment there. And now do have the Vindicators advancing forward. And no transform in time. The Paul's in the region as well, so he's likely going to die either way. The Empire MCV is now advancing forward, trying to do something aggressive. His teammate can deploy out in a small build radius around some various defenses, such as a Tesla coil. We got some sort of defense here. It's a multi-gunner turret. We do have the Tank now being bombed. Good number of Stingrays out on the field. We do also have 3 Hydrofoils and 2 Riptides. And now I've got the blue MCVs making its way down south, making it a very, very strange game indeed. More Tsunami tanks being on up one at a time. Stingrays are now made its way onto land, throwing some Molotovs into the garrison, clearing that out. And Stingrays are very effective versus infantry. They're a very good unit. They may not be Tesla tanks, but they're really the next best thing. Empire MCV now trying to be frozen down. And looks like this Jet Tengu does get shot out of the air. Apollo's now pursuing these Jet Tengus, and they do transform away. The Empire MCV is now falling on back. I still really don't know what it is doing. They now have the Riptides advance forward, trying to get some good damage onto the Prospector. And also the Empire MCV is chilled. It's very close to going down, but guys, teammates pushing forward with Bullfrog. Does shrink it down, but there's 2 more Bullfrogs there as well. So this team, the Soviet allies, do a good job supporting his teammate. Apollo does go down there. And do have a big wave of Hydrofoils and Riptides skirting the seas. Molotovs being thrown into Oil Derrick. And now Twin Blade Rock as well. Hydrofoil getting jammed. It will not be able to get the electromagnetic discharge or Tesla surge off. And we got mass transform there. Now it can do the Tesla surge, but not really necessary. I don't know. Does Tesla surge affect teammates? Hopefully not. We do now have these Hydrofoils getting some good hits or jams onto the Snom tank, but they will get not gunned down, shocked down. Oh, and that NCV, it is getting cold. Does redeploy there, freezes mid-redeploy there, and sells it off. Apparently you can sell it off mid-deploy. Interesting. You usually deploy so quickly, you don't usually pause that progress bar. We do have this multi-gun turret now being overran by these Mecha Tengus. Does take it out. We got now the Cryocopters getting some freezes off. More bombing runs there from his teammate. And the frozen units will be kicked off by the multi-gunner IFEs. Cyan does not have another MCV. Does have tier 2 War Factory. Multi-gunner IFEs advancing forward. They're not loaded up with engineers. Wait, that's also his own units there. Soviet players claim this garrison. These ore refineries are still up and going though. We do now have the Stingrays advancing forward. He can to overrun the seaport. When the guy is advancing forward, there's a large number of tsunami tanks in this region, so we'll be able to shrink them all down. Though he may try. And now the seaport is under fire or under electricity. Does get that one fully heroic. If you would have got the wounded one fully heroic, it'd get some more health regen. Hammer tanks now advancing forward. Multi-gunner IFEs advancing up north, trying to avoid this force. There's a good number of Twin Blades and Bullfrogs in this region as well. Tsunami tank does avoid the bombing run there. Mostly. Not dying at least. Jet tank is now advancing forward. Big swarm of them. They're being transformed individually for some odd reason. Multi-gunner IFEs does get some good damage there. Apollo's being focused on by the Jet Tengus. Does not pick up that one as well. Maybe these forces may just want to go with a harassment there. There's a good harassment. And those ground troops inside this garrison will clean up that Mecha Tengu. So now it's going to be now reflecting away, but we'll get to them frozen in time as well. Jet Tengu is trying to dissuade them from freezing anymore, and that one will not get destroyed just yet. Got a large number of Vindicators in the air. Apollos do force the Mecha Tengus, Jet Tengus to transform. Now these forces are going to be pursued one at a time. Oh, that's a little bit overkill with that bomb run. Cyan could advance forward to engage Red's base. Right now, Blue's just getting hit by too many bombing runs. Does have a third expansion. Blue does have a third expansion up there, but this one will be frozen quite quickly. That one does get bombed down. Soviet players advancing forward. A lot of bullfrogs. Got satellites. Level 1 satellites raining on in. Hammer tanks advancing forward. Does receive some point defense drones from his teammate. Very nice. The Guardian tanks do a good job of focus firing down these hammer tanks. There's just too many units here. Science tanks do go down. A couple hammer tanks remaining. Could hit that wounded Guardian tank who do have these twin blades in the air. And the prospector here is currently Q doing nothing, not collecting resources. And does get retasked there now. Cyan has deployed on a number of defenses in this region as well. And does take out the motor gun turret there with some Molotovs. Hammer tanks are trying to fall back. There's a good number of motor gunner IFVs here to sway those motor gunner turrets, or to sway those twin blades from sticking around. One of these hammer tanks does have an extra gun. It's currently trying to leech down stuff. Guardian tanks now making their way forward. I don't think this force will be able to stick around for all too long. Cryo blast being cast on in as well. Not a very good response there. A number of them does get frozen. Takes out the bullfrogs, takes out the hammer tank. A couple of the infantry forces are still alive, but frozen. Twin blades now advancing forward. There's a good volley there onto that motor gunner IFV. Does not take it out. And now we're seeing a lot of free rockets and still doesn't take it out as well. And it does throw a full volley of missiles there, but the Subdestroyer says, I'm going to eat those. Some blades now being gunned on down. Guardian tanks, motor gunner, IFVs, and assault destroyers advance forward. Cryocopters there to support as well. You have a handful of units inside this garrison. Hopefully it's tank busters. Got multiple Tesla coils being put up by Cyan. Cyan's now advance forward with some Tesla troopers. There's a little peacekeeper inside that turret. And this Guardian tank or hammer tank will go down. Tesla troops now advance forward, getting some good kills there. Twin blades, bullfrogs, hammer tanks, conscripts, and Tesla troopers are advancing forward, trying to get some good damage here. We got this force here, and we've got the cryo. That's the cryo blast right there, not cryo shot. Does get another freeze of frozens there, including a hammer tank in the far radius of it. Good armor runs there onto those hammer tanks. And it does use the EM field there, but was not close enough to the MCV to lock it down. The MCV is now seeing quite a bit of fire. This force is backing off. There's a wall of walls. And also the satellites do come on in, knocking around his own infantry. Tesla troopers are starting to be cleaned on up. And the Guardian tank cannot crush a Tesla trooper. Let's get some good damage there. Hammer tanks are now falling on back. Got a bit more forces pushing way forward. Do you have another reactor being deployed on out? That Guardian tank starting to siphon down the ore refinery at range. Good damage there. Motor gunner IFV is trying to come in to respond. Guardian tanks best pull out their guns at that close range, so you have a higher DPS there. And now we do got the... Ooh, that transform's not going to be very useful versus the motor gunner IFVs in the region. Let's advance forward with a ore collector engaging this power plant with extreme prejudice, and ore collectors are resistant to Vindicator bombs. Synoptics trying to run away from these twin blades or cryocopters, but they're unsuccessful largely. Science advance forward with some various infantry forces and hammer tanks. We do have an aircraft, multiple aircraft carriers deployed in the center. Let's get a decent EMP there, locking down all of those hammer tanks. Chopper VX is now getting some good damage there onto this power plant. Does sell off for some credits. Multigunner IV coming to respawn. It does do a transform there, but will now receive a lot of ground fire. Wait, he has all those wall segments. Oh, he's deployed out his MCV. He could try for some expansions, though Science explained this one here. He has to reclaim this northern one. This naval one's a little bit difficult to ship the aircraft carrier nearby. Nearby in quotation marks. And you got a crowd getting there, getting a number of bullfrogs and hammer tanks. As the troopers are trying to run away. Does get inside this garrison for one of them. Hammer tanks are starting to be thawed out. Red's force starting to back off a little bit. Twin Blades do fall back. Chopper VX does get killed off, though the honorable discharge does get great hit there. Hammer tanks taking out this refinery now. They just want to focus on that refinery. It probably won't live for much longer than that. Does take out the refinery. If both those forces do get cleaned on up. There's there on the ore refinery. We'll be taking it out. Hammer tanks and Athena cannons. Large formation right there. There's a little bit of choke point there. Though the Athena cannons can siege down everything there. All these space defenses won't last very long. Mecha Bay is now receiving quite a bit of fire. We've got a good number of walls being deployed on out. Blade starting, trying to find an angle there. Not a whole lot of anti-aircraft in this region, which is actually very important. Mirage tanks now being focused down. Turning the giant archways now like they're very inconspicuous. There's actually a good number of multi-gunner IVs. I didn't see those earlier. And now these twin blades souls really when we've got more multi-gunner IVs, all of them fully heroic. And they do take out some of these twin blades now. Down south, we've got red now advanced forward for laser locks and peacekeepers. We've got a crusher crane here, getting some much needed repairs on these forces. Javelin troops getting some good damage there on those twin blades. Orange's arm is backed on up from balloon bombs. I think that was balloon bombs. It could have been satellites though. Bears does get some good kills there on Javelin troops. One of them does escape from being roared at. Sun's going to try to advance forward with his tanks now. And a good bomb run there on those tanks. Gyrocopters gets to get a good freeze on the cool sub, shrinks down, and does get it before it submerges, and Vindicators will go and finish it off. A little bit overkill there, but does now 2 full row Vindicators there. Ooh, that crowd getting on top of a Dreadnought, taking it out as well. And looks like Twin Blades trying to advance forward, trying to hit those aircraft carriers. There's a large number of aircraft carriers there, and these Twin Blades will likely go down. These bullfrogs are invulnerable. There must have been something there important to protect, because I don't know why he would invulnerable bullfrogs. Iron Curtain has been pointed out, and do have Chronosphere and a Proton Collider for orange.
Show your valor!
Good number of shrinkage on top of those tsunami tanks. Hammer tanks are making their way forward. Hammer tanks are advancing forward, trying to get some good damage there. Does take out some of these twin blades or multi-gunner IVs. And now we've got good damage there on the Soldier Destroyer from the Striker VXs as they're trying to fire rockets up at these Crowcopters. Mirage tank advancing forward. Sonata tank does go down, getting some good honorable discharge there. Now I have a massive flank of these guardian tanks, but the force they're trying to flank is already dead, and now they're seeing a lot of aircraft fire. Twin blades do go ahead and fall on back. There's just too many multi-gunner IFVs in this region.
Let's start something up.
Zakoro now being frozen down. Guardian tanks advancing forward. Good damage there onto those Guardian tanks. I hear a crowd getting right there. These bears are going to be cut off. Not like they're going to do much. Orchestra does get frozen down as well. Twin blades, if they can hit those multi-gunner IFVs, take them out. Pressure crane could go down as well. Pressure crane does go down now. I do got a final squadron being called on in. Oh, that final squadron landed very quickly, didn't it? And now these Striker VX are going to walk on back home. Striker VX does get some good damage there on these cryocopters. And this one does get destroyed off as well. Mirage tanks advancing forward. We're seeing some fire from these twin blades. Mirage tanks are being focused down. Do got a chronosphere to try to go for a teleport. Right, these bullfrogs. Chronosphere was not cast. You also got a psionic decimator deployed off by Blue. Proton Collider will be ready in 3 minutes. Iron Curtain will be ready in 15 seconds. And it does go ahead and teleport that Apocalypse Tanks to its doom. It was an instrument of doom, just his own doom. There goes some of these Athena or Mirage tanks. Starfish 24 does take out that Tesla coil. Ooh, there was some sort of massive kill there. I'm not sure what it was. Iron Curtain will go down. Oh, that was probably the Iron Curtain. Let's go off cooldown or on cooldown. Laser locks will take out the ore refinery. And he may overkill that. Yep, there goes a lot of infantry. Battle Lab does go down as well. Very, very wounded and not very, very dead. And looks like Science back to the game, giving everything to Blue. He does have a Science Decimator. We do got a Shogun battleship here with a number of sea wings out in the sea. Does freeze on the Shogun battleship now. And does bomb the Shogun battleship. Just too many cryocopters there, and Blue just going back out of the game. It's not great saying thank you for watching, and on to next replay.